Greetings, I am Herbert Erpaderp, and today I'm going to build this little KFZ-13 Maschinengewehrkraftwagen, or, as you might prefer to say, Naimeki Samochod Rozpoznausi. That's probably enough slaughtering of languages for one day. This is a 72nd scale kit from First to Fight, intended for their wargame Rezhizhen 1939. And if you've seen these kits before, the back of the box is probably exactly what you would expect. It's not a bad thing, they're just consistent. There's a few paragraphs about the vehicle in Polish, German, and English, a painting and marking guide which has suggestions for Vallejo colours, and some instructions. This is a fairly simple kit, so the instructions are fittingly simple. If you find these diagrams to be too small, you can find a copy of them online. It's much easier to zoom in on a digital image than a cardboard box. I'll link it in the description below. Inside the box you'll find two sprues. This first one has the body, machine gun, and its shield, and what appears to be a radio antenna. That isn't used in this kit, it's obviously for a radio version of the vehicle. I don't know if there are more parts required to build that kit or not, but the parts are here, so if you want to do something with them, feel free. I won't stop you. The other sprue has the rest of the vehicle. It would be disappointing if it didn't. All of the parts in this kit are nice and neat looking, and the moulding is very good. Mould lines are, of course, present, but they're quite minor, and won't take too much work to remove. Unlike some previous First to Fight kits I've built, there aren't any particularly thin parts here that will break as soon as you think about breathing on them, which is nice. The parts do look rather well detailed, especially for a kit that's intended for wargaming. There's a little sheet of decals, there's just crosses and number plates here, but that's really about all you need anyway. As usual, there are no paper instructions included inside the kit, but it does come with a magazine. Or does the magazine come with the kit? I'm waffling, but as usual, I can't read Polish, but there's pictures in here, and a painting guide. It's a tiny little bit more in depth than the one on the back of the box, but it's still pretty simple. Not that that's a bad thing, it can still be a helpful starting point. Okay, let's glue some bits of plastic together. I start with the floor, for lack of better name for it. The fact that this has the mudguards moulded into it simplifies the build quite a lot. Onto this, I glue the seat, which doesn't look especially comfortable. I follow that with the steering column, which plops into place here. And then, surprisingly, the steering wheel goes on top of that. This will be visible through the open top of the vehicle, but not so much that you would need more intricate detail than this, at least in my opinion. The next thing to do is glue the upper body onto the floor part, which is pretty simple. There are guide pins, which help get everything lined up good and neat. I was kind of worried the body might knock the steering wheel out of place. Sometimes that does happen with kits like this. Turns out I was worried about nothing. Still, it's not a bad idea to be careful with that kind of thing. Next, I put the lid onto the little stowage box on the rear of the car. You may think, oh, that's probably for tools and things. But you would be wrong. It's actually for sauerkraut. Ask any German, they'll tell you. Come on guys, back me up on this one. It wouldn't be a Maschinengewehrkraftwagen without the machine gun, so here it is. It's not super detailed by any stretch, but it looks decent enough, and it comes with a seat built in, possibly stolen from a bicycle. I glue the gun shield on, and it was a little bit fiddly to get this lined up to at least look straight and neat, but I got there in the end. I leave that to bond, and to stop it from leaning on the shield and shifting out of position as the plastic cement set, I stuck it into a blob of blue tack. Additional sauerkraut storage boxes go onto the rear side plates like so, and there's keying to guide these. Simple enough. Then, a spare wheel goes on the rear like so. There's no keying for this, but it's not too hard to position. It rests on the floor bit, so you've just got to eyeball it to get it centered. Then, I install the machine gun. This is a job for tweezers. There's a little mounting point in there, and it's not too difficult to get this positioned. It's only a little bit fiddly, not swearing-inducing fiddly. I add some extra glue where the gun contacts the hull at the front, just for a little bit of extra strength. Now seemed like a really good time to add the lower parts of the vehicle. This framey axle part is pretty simple to install, and there's keying to helpfully guide it into place. A bit of pressure was needed, particularly at the front, to avoid gaps between the body and the leaf springs. Once that's firmly in place, the wheels can go on. This is really easy. All the wheels are the same, so it doesn't matter where you put them. Well, it does, you've got to put them on the axles. What I mean is it doesn't matter which axle you put which wheel on. All you've got to do is press them into place and make sure they're not all wibbly wobbly. Headlamps come next. These go into the little holes in the sides of the engine compartment, like so. You may need to nudge them a bit so they're not pointing in weird directions, but that's not too much of a challenge. I then add this, what I'm assuming is a mirror, on the left side. It seems sensible to put this on after the headlamps to avoid knocking it out of place. And then, as a finishing touch, I add the ball-on-stick vehicle width indication devices. There is obviously a mounting hole for them, but there's no keying here to force the correct position, so I've eyeballed it. It might be wrong, but it's close enough. That's it. The KFZ-13 Maschinengewehrkraftwagen in 70-second scale from first to fight is completed. That took almost no time at all. I'm quite happy with the result. It's a nice looking little armoured car, though admittedly it isn't really one I ever thought about before building this kit. That's not a bad thing, I guess it's just not a commonly seen vehicle. It was used in the invasion of Poland though, so it definitely makes sense for Rezhizhen 1939. The kit was quite easy and simple to build, which of course isn't a bad thing, especially if you're a wargamer who either wants a swarm of these little things, or just wants the model ready for a game right away. Anyway, it's a fun and easy kit. I would say the end result doesn't really reflect the simplicity of the build. It's pretty well detailed, though the interior is a little bit empty. Oh, I bet you're going to put figures in there, aren't you? Yeah, sure. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, you could do that. It would add interest. It does look nice without them though. I don't really have anything else to say about this that you can't see with your own eyes. I'm just waffling now. You can see how nice it looks, and you saw how quick and easy it went together, and maybe one day, if you're good, you'll see how it looks painted. By me, I mean. You could probably go and find a painted example by somebody else pretty easily. What I'm saying is I've added this to my list of things to paint because I think it's going to be a nice, fun, and simple paint job, and I need more of those in my life. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section below. If you want to watch me build kits like this one live on stream, head on over to my Twitch channel. The link is in the description below. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube if you want to see more of this kind of thing. And if you'd like to see my videos a bit early before there's any ads, consider becoming a patron. You can find links to Patreon and all of my other things like Discord and social media in the description below. Take care of yourselves, be excellent to each other, and thanks for watching. Farewell.